cause I be busting the dope moves. But the problem stay the same. How you riding for the cash when you ain't riding in my lane? Shorty all about a paper, so your mixture look the same. In the game I play the lane like Eddie Kane, cause I be busting the dope moves.
Musa brother was over here cracking.
So what I'm explaining to you is this. If we follow the timeline and we go back to modern day humans, evidence we have of them is 300,000 years ago. So what you're suggesting is that people got to the Americas how? Sailing, when we have no evidence of boats in that era. So you can't.
I just don't think niggas are that dumb.
I mean, but it's not about what you think, it's about what you can prove. We ain't working off of belief. We only making these conversations and arguments off of what we do know.
Off of what a white person told us.
No, but now you're making an insinuation that all people who provided evidence on this whole subject are all white. That would just be your insinuation. You have no evidence to prove that.
They was on boats. They ain't never say nothing.
Yeah, but you don't have no evidence that hunter-gatherers were on boats. Let alone boats that were seaworthy. So now, I know kind of how your mind works. What you're going to try to do is go and pick a spot that's a very short distance and say they sail from there. But you're still leaving out that they had to have been in that region and nobody else was in that region. You cannot rule that out, that people inhabited that region, because we don't know about no African kingdoms that spread to Siberia.
In Siberia?
We don't know about no African kingdoms or no black kingdoms, Afro-Asiatic kingdoms that stretch to Siberia. We've never heard of it.
I'm kind of sure it was, but
Never heard of it. And as well, if you're thinking about crossing the ice,
they was all up in Syria and all up in the Middle East.
Syria is nowhere near Siberia.
Golden caskets. And
Syria is nowhere near Siberia. I don't know why you would say Syria when it's nowhere near Siberia and it's nowhere near that land bridge. It's even further.
I mean, it ain't as far as you think, but yeah, it ain't.
Oh, it's far enough, especially when it's people in the region. That's what I know. And you want me to tell you how? I'm going to use the same math that I use with the Africans. Look how many people are in Asia. Asia is the most populated continent. Exactly. It's the most populated continent on Earth. So how long have people been populating in Asia? If science proves beliefs of Buddhism wrong, then Buddhism has to change.
Buddhism has to change.
That's what the Dalai Lama said.
The Dalai Lama a nut.
Well, that's the chief on all things Buddhist. You already know that, so.
Yeah, he said he's still a nut.
He understands.
Especially Gandhi.
Nah, he understands what science is. Science is demonstrable evidence. That's what science is. Science is only a thing. I tried to explain it to you with gravity.
Damn, somebody gave me the perfect definition of science. Trying to be a physical religion, trying to find God. Like, I can't get the words, but
it's not.
It's more like a move of religion.
It's not. Science is like.
It really is, though,
it's
bro.
not. It's not a religion. Science is science because science only works for science, and science is the only thing that debunks science. Science is forever growing. I already put it to you before. I used the theory of gravity. I hold a pen up and I dropped it. Kano said this is not gravity. I'm trying to show Kano why he's wrong. I pick up a pen and I drop the pen. The pen falls to the ground. So now people see this happen. And they take a bunch of different objects and they drop them. And they see that the heavier the object, the faster it falls. So what they do, and the higher it falls from. So what they do after that is they call it something. They call it the theory of gravity. Why is it called the theory of gravity? Because gravity might not be the only reason why things fall down. So if you're leaving open the possibility for other things that make things fall down when you drop them, gravity is one of many theories, much like evolution. Why? Yeah, but it's a scientific theory. There's a difference. A theory is something me or you can have. Science only has theories based off of demonstrated events.
But it's still not proven. It's just been it's just been
But it's the best. But
experiment,
it's
like
the
a
best.
successful experiment. It's still not
No, it's not
1000%.
unsuccessful. If it's unsuccessful, science will say no. There has been many theories introduced to science that science later on, when technology advances, says we were wrong. So what science is the best explanation based off the evidence that is there. So unless you have all the evidence of the sun,
They trying to seek God's face like everybody else.
they're not trying to seek God's
Silly
face.
rabbit tricks is for
They're
kids.
not trying to seek God's face because you or nobody else can't prove there is a God for them to seek. They're working with things that they can prove exist.
But the worst is the denial of it. The denial.
But that's not what science does. Science doesn't deny or validate God. That's not what science. That's what atheism does. That's a whole different thing. You're upset because atheists are secular. They base all their arguments and critical thinking off of rational evidence.
So do everybody else.
No, really?
Yeah. I come on the taxes, my man.
So religious people base their life off of something tangible?
Not religious people, but the higher ups do.
What higher ups? Most of the richest people on earth aren't religious.
They like Jesuits and shit, yeah.
Nah, they not the richest people on earth. I'm talking about like the Bilderbergs and the
And them dudes eat like piss and shit, like.
I mean, the only thing I'm saying is that most of the richest people in the world, on like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, these people, to my knowledge, are not religious. Paul Allen, they don't believe in no gods. They believe
Yeah,
in.
when they start doing wild shit.
Nah, but I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that ain't why they do wild shit. It's people who believe in. We already had this conversation. It's people who believe in God that do wild shit, Pop.
For sure.
All right, so how can you make wild shit of a definition of people who don't believe in God? If by your only Paco was Charles. Before I even get into that, I just want to say, Aleister Crowley is a Christian.
He said something in the mirror.
I just want to say that before I run down on people. Aleister Crowley is a Christian, first and foremost.
But you can switch that. That's like interchangeable.
How is it interchangeable?
Because all the evil people that's Jesus.
All right, yeah. And I'm about to say, all the evil people is religious. All the evil people is religious. Didn't Dylan Roof do what he did in the name of God? Wasn't Ted Bundy a churchgoer?
I think they was atheists.
See, but I know they went to church. I know that they at least claimed to believe.
You went to church?
Yeah, and then I found out, however many years later, that the shit was all a sham.
I went to church.
Yeah, but you still believe it's real.
I definitely don't. I was the only 7th grader that was telling them what the fuck is y'all doing.
So what I don't understand.
I mean, 7-year-old asking them what the hell is going on.
So what I don't.
Y'all told people.
So what I don't understand is how you can denounce religion but believe in God when you heard about
Because
it.
I'm further along on the scale.
All right, so where did you?
You gonna believe in God in about a year or two? You
No,
slow
I'm
pacing
not. I'm
on
just trying to
one
figure.
subject.
But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you tell me the God that you believe in? So I can figure
I'm just
out.
waiting for you. I know where you at.
So how come? Well, why won't you tell me the God you believe in?
I don't think you know man. Like you want me to conduce this stuff
I
into
didn't
a
say
man or
that you
like?
was no man. You just said you believe in God. You said all praises to the Most High, and I asked you who is you praying to? Who is
Well,
that?
it's above so below. You know, I'm just telling you that circumstances might bring him here. Certain things might have somebody put the mind of God on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the Most High, but he can manifest in different ways. You feel me?
I don't. Who can manifest in different ways? Who might come here? is what I'm at. I don't understand. I'm completely lost when you say these things. It seems like you're spitting religious terminology at me and then saying you don't believe in any religion, but God is real. That's what I feel like you're doing.
I mean, you know the story. God's mind tends to travel in mysterious ways. It could be a fucking bug. It could be a human. You don't know. Something.
No.
Everything you do right now can change the whole trajectory of the future. Like you never know.
I'm not disputing what you're saying, but again, he can't be a bug because a bug didn't create this planet. He can't be a human because a human didn't create this planet. So we can rule those things out. Now we talking about, according to you, a creator God. Now we speaking on creationism. So what I'm trying to figure out is
you yourself as a creator. You made the Brock album number 1, 2 through 6.
Okay, yeah, I can create art. I can create literature.
So
I can create.
You create.
Yeah, but I don't create everything. So when somebody asks you where the sun come from, you can't say God. Because you have no evidence of that. You have no evidence any gods exist. And actually what you have is the opposite. More evidence that they probably don't. That's what you actually have. Because the people who propose God.
But the absence of evidence is still the same it's all the same, bro. All these things are the same. Atheism itself
but that would be
it's like a religion, bro.
Again, that would be
no proof.
That would be the case if I was doing what you was doing. You are ruling in the absolute. You're saying that there is a God. That's what you're doing. You're ruling in an absolute. I'm not. I'm saying I don't believe in any God I've ever heard of. So therefore,
and you don't understand how that's just as ridiculous.
No,
as somebody.
But you don't either because you're not religious.
Yeah, but I study those things. I study the faces. I study the religions. I study the science.
Irregardless of if you study religion or not, you have never connected.
That's why people like myself, you just call spiritual. You don't put a title on us.
Spiritual has nothing to do with God. Spirituality has nothing to do with a God.
Not necessarily.
Not at all. Not at all. Spiritual, it can, correct. But it doesn't, it's not a requirement. Now, for religion, it's a requirement. Religion is based off the belief and worship of a God or gods. So when I say I don't believe in God, and I explain why, I elaborate and say it's because I've never heard of a God that makes any sense. And then you tell me, well, I kind of agree with you, Brock, because I don't subscribe to any religions that I've ever heard of either. But I believe there's a God. So you're an agnostic. You're not sure, but you're saying you're sure for the sake of an argument.
I'm kind of aligned with the scientists, as I keep telling you,
but I keep telling you, all scientists are not deists. That's just a religion that came from. No, it's not a most thing. It's not a most thing. It doesn't matter, but they're not all in one camp. So it came. So let's use what he just said. It came from one camp, and other scientists from other camps have latched onto it. So now we have proven it's not a most.
It's known fact that they normally.
No, they don't. No. Listen, y'all. That's not facts. Most scientists don't believe one thing. There are scientists that are religious. There are scientists that are atheists. There are scientists that are agnostic, meaning they do not know. There are scientists that are deists, that believe that there is a God, but he has nothing to do with any religion.
But once they do more studying, they tend to change their mind.
No, they don't. That's not true for all scientists or most scientists. That's true for the scientists that change their mind. Just the ones that have changed their mind. Some scientists are Christians. Some scientists are Muslims. Being a scientist does not mean that you have to believe everything about science. And it doesn't mean that you're qualified in every area of science. So you could be a scientist where you do archaeologists. You could be a scientist where you do DNA geneticist. But those two people can both have a religion.
You're going to end up in the same point.
Nah,
dog.
none
I
of
keep-
nah,
you don't
nah,
understand
no.
why. I do.
All these things don't end up in the same point, people, because people are
Once you look under these microscopes, and then you get a bigger microscope, and then you get a bigger microscope, and then you'll start to understand these things. Once you start looking up in the sky, then get a bigger telescope.
But what I want,
you'll start to understand.
But what I want him to know is this, and I want y'all to hear me. Everything he knows about outside of this planet, he learned from science.
The inside of this planet is just as ill. It's all here.
Absolutely not, y'all. Absolutely not.
It's all here.
Think about what he's saying. He's saying that inside of this planet is as crazy as the universe.
Inside your body is as crazy as the damn universe.
Absolutely incorrect, yo.
Guys.
There are no shooting stars in your body. There are no voids in your body. There are no black holes and white holes. There are no red suns, white suns, yellow suns, blue suns in your body. So
but they are.
But they aren't. But they aren't.
Is.
There absolutely is not.
That you
listen, y'all.
And them particles, it's all there. It's planets.
None of it's there, y'all.
Right there for you.
None of it's there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to teach y'all something. If you don't know,
see.
Hopefully, most people will know something as common as what I'm about to say. We have found rocks that have landed on our planet that are not identifiable with anything on this planet.
If you yourself, Brock, take a long piss, in your piss is more particles and things in your piss than there are human beings on this earth, bro.
Okay.
There's more different cell that you're wasting.
So listen.
It's more different particles. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay. So now I understand what he's saying, and I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. The universe holds more than 1 billion times different elements than you can find on this planet combined.
Most of it is in you.
Listen, y'all, I want y'all to hear me. Most of the stuff in the universe only exists where it exists. Because everything in the universe is not connected. I want y'all to understand something. I'm going to teach y'all right now. Our universe is a result of our suns. All the stars you see in the sky are suns. In far off galaxies and universes. No. Listen, y'all. My point is this. Each sun creates its own world. The sun is a burning ball of natural gases, primarily helium and hydrogen. Primarily, those two ingredients are more of the elements in the sun than everything else combined. The other 4 or 5 elements that the sun is made up of, all of them together are less than the amounts of hydrogen and helium that the sun is.
You come here about nuclear fusion,
No, listen, y'all.
Listen, y'all. Come here through nuclear fusion.
Listen, y'all. Okay, but the sun dies, ladies and gentlemen. This is where black holes come from. Dead suns.
So did it die or did it repurpose itself?
No, it died, and I'm going to show y'all how it works. When a sun is burning orange or red, like our sun is, it's in what you would call it.
It turns to a black hole.
I'm about to break it down to y'all. Listen. When a sun is red like ours or orange like ours, it's in prime position. According to what we think we know, with the evidence we do have, an orange sun is in its prime and will last for billions of years. Eventually, the sun will start to gather in too many different gases. And not just too many different gases, too much gas. So then the sun will start to expand. As it expands, it grows into its next phase. It's the dying phase, not dead, but dying. It turns into what's called a white dwarf. So a white sun, it's on its way out. An orange sun is in the prime years of its life. A red sun is what comes before the orange sun, before the sun reaches maturity. And I'm using those words out of context, but it's just so y'all can understand what I'm saying. Now, a white dwarf will turn into a black dwarf. A black dwarf is the final phase. And a black dwarf will turn into a black hole. A black hole is the result of a dead sun. Now, when I'm explaining to y'all, when they tell y'all that they believe our universe or our galaxy is a certain amount of age, is based off of the age they believe the sun is. They believe the sun is that age based off of other suns. Every sun is not exactly the same. There are suns that are thousands of times larger than our sun. And most of them are white dwarfs because they've gathered so much they're on their way out. Now, there are also blue suns, but the point I'm trying to make y'all understand is this. The rules of Earth, I need y'all to hear me. There is no evidence that the rules of Earth, the laws of physics of Earth, matter in the fucking universe. I'll even go further. There's actually evidence against it. If we believe that things float in outer space, if we honestly believe that, then that means that just outside of the atmosphere, gravity, one of the key key things on our planet, one thing that changes everything. We have to build turbulence engines or jet engines because of gravity. The plane will not stay up. But in space, there is no gravity. So right outside of our atmosphere, we can see just how different our galaxy is, let alone the rest of the universe. For the most part, we know nothing about the rest of the universe. We have never gotten a telescope. We've never gotten a satellite or anything to another galaxy. They're too far away. They're millions of light years away. So again, y'all, he understands what a light year is because science taught him that. He knows his planets because science taught him that. Even though he sees the sun, the only definition for it he ever got in his life.
Because some guys got together, act like they were smart, and try to define
because some guys, exactly.
Doesn't mean anything.
Because it does mean something, y'all.
They can't even build pyramids or shit like back in the day. So I don't know how you're taking them.
But again, okay, so let me ask y'all a question. You know, is there a pyramid in Las Vegas? So we understand. So we understand that the architecture, y'all. We understand that the architecture is not the problem. We understand that the movement of the stone blocks would be the problem. Now I'm gonna tell you why nobody's going to build a pyramid today, because nobody has free labor that we know of.
I've never seen one like the jewels in Gaza and the jewel. I've never seen.
So again, y'all, free labor is not a thing that anybody cares to say that they take part of. That's first and foremost.
I've never seen these niggas carve
Secondly,
up well, I guess they can carve up mountains, but
I mean, with today's technology,
like it used to be.
With today's technology, they could do a bunch of stuff, but the thing is, it will cost money. And who has any interest in building a pyramid that's going to cost them tens or hundreds of billions of dollars?
Like always, I always said, they were selling food back then, so they did. And resources. Food is everything.
Nah, but they had manpower.
So that's why most dynasties you see all around the world, all you gotta do is see their products they were selling.
Yeah, but fuck their products. They were only dynasties because they had manpower.
They had food for sale.
No, they had manpower. Manpower. If they didn't have manpower, their food would have been taken.
They wouldn't have had no manpower for the food.
Listen, what I'm saying, y'all. They wouldn't have had, if they didn't have manpower, their food would have been taken. The people who didn't have an army, like the Mongols, like the Romans, those people were run over.
Remember I said we was hunter-gatherers and we used to have to follow the prey and stuff like that? You don't have to if you saw a food product. Like if you got corn or rice, like the Cambodians and the richest people that I've seen build pyramids, they have food stocks. So
yeah, but
that's
having
the only reason those people were that rich.
Nah, but having manpower, but them having, are you talking about them being rich or them building the pyramids?
But that's what I'm saying. That go hand. All this stuff that I'm telling you go hand in hand.
But the pyramids,
civilizations and everything else. It's all
but none of these are. No, none of it is. You're absolutely off base. The first civilized Paco.
Stuff exists, bro.
I'm with you. I'm with you as far as human beings have to eat amongst other animals. I'm with you there. But the point I'm making is, in the time when we were hunter-gatherers, all right, I give you all a prime example because he said pyramids.
Okay.
Egypt has a pre-dynastic period where they labeled the people as hunter-gatherers. And then they have a period where they call them dynasties and kingdoms. And they call that a civilization. What I want y'all to understand is this. The peoples who were the hunter-gatherers along the Nile, the Afro-Asiatics, and what they call Lower Egypt, or the top part, or what they call Kemet. See, if you look at the map, well, you can't see it, but I might put it in the video. Kemet is very, very, very small compared to Kush. Because Kush was the... Okay, so this is what I want y'all to understand. So before we get to Egypt, we got Kemet and Kush. Now, we understand the blacks are Kush. Kemet is the Afro-Asiatics that settled around the line, and North Africans that settled around the Nile. Now, listen, y'all, everybody's a hunter-gatherer at this point. There is no civilization. We talking about 6,000 BC, 7,000 BC. Nobody right now has a civilization. There is no pyramid building yet. So the point I'm trying to make to y'all is this.
That sounds like a civilization to me.
I agree with you 1,000%. I agree with you. I'm just going off of I'm putting it the way they put it. And you've heard me on previous videos make that argument that don't say that the people who are pre-Olmec aren't civilizations. I'll say exactly the way I said it before.
They came from civilizations either way.
No, I'll say it the way I said it before. I said, if the Olmecs is who they saying is the first civilization in the Americas, then what the fuck is Luzia? Chopped liver? That's exactly what I said on that one tape. If Luzia and Naia was here, y'all not calling them civilization because they didn't build nothing. You just found their bones, just like those people in Morocco. You don't call that a civilization 300,000 years ago because you just found their bones. You didn't find any evidence of them building anything. Like Göbekli Tepe. If you want to talk about civilizations, if they consider building civilization, then Göbekli Tepe should be the oldest civilization on Earth. Because that's the oldest evidence of building in Turkey 12,000 years ago. Even though it wasn't like built like a
We was cracking in Turkey. I keep telling you that.
But that shit was sloppy as fuck. That ain't got nothing to do with no Egypt, nigga. That shit was
They still was cracking, bro.
That shit was sloppy as fuck. That shit
is
a bunch of stones pushed on top of each other.
Yeah, but even the Egyptian people claim that. So
I don't know nothing about what the people of Egypt today ain't the people who built shit. So I don't know what they want to claim.
Egypt and Turkey go hand in hand, bro. They just do.
What Egypt? Today's Egypt, right? Yes.
Nah,
yes, y'all. Listen. We just stumbled upon a nugget. We just stumbled upon a nugget. The people of Egypt today, where do they come from, y'all?
I was talking about back then.
Listen, y'all. The people of Egypt today look like the people in Turkey, don't they? They look a lot like Middle Easterners, don't they, y'all?
Nah,
so what I want y'all to understand is where he getting confused.
No, he's getting confused, guys. Like,
listen, y'all. Okay. Now, let me drop this little baby on his head. Did the Persians take over? Egypt, Paco?
Recently, yeah.
Before the people who are there now, right?
I'm just telling you.
Before the people that are there now, right?
No, just the Moors. I'm talking about.
No. But all right, who took over Egypt? So wait. Whoa. He just threw a whole fucking piece of bullshit past my face.
When you say Turkey,
so wait, hold on. Listen, y'all. I want to challenge him on a couple things, y'all. The Moors come from Saudi Arabia or Turkey, Paco?
It was in both.
No, I asked you where they come from. Saudi Arabia or Turkey?
Nobody really knows.
We do know, y'all. We do know, everybody. We do know where the Moors come from. All right, let's do it like this. Moors' religion was primarily